My guest today is the creator of Perth's own health food business, Hail the Kale. She is the owner, the operator, and the businesswoman superstar that we all need. Please welcome Marnie Mayhem Faulkner.
Yep.
See, there's me from last time as well. Is it on that one as well?
There you are.
And there's another one.
There you are.
Okay. Rightio.
Do you not
There's
spray
me
tan?
as well. That's Taylor. She boxed before. Last time.
When you get a spray tan,
I think I just wanted my abs to look good. I think that's what was going through my head. Nothing else.
You look sober as a judge there.
Yeah, I was pretty sober.
Do they say just don't spray tan under my arms? Is that what they do?
But just don't spray tan on my right arm. That's not out. So just save on the spray tan and just spray the other side.
There's got to be more of you. There you are.
Oh, there's Taylor. See, she's smiling there.
White teeth. Who's that? Is that Asen?
That's the...
It's not Asen. Nice. We ready? Welcome back, Marnie.
Hello.
You could have wearing the same stuff you were wearing last time. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, you know. It's my favourite top. What can I say? I love pink.
Marnie, how come your Facebook is Marnie Ella? Why is that an alias? Any reason for that?
Oh, my alias, because I was a school teacher.
Were you?
Yes.
Okay. You're from Albany.
I'm from Albs.
When'd you move up from Albs?
When I was 18, when I came to uni the first time around.
So you grew up in Albany?
Yeah.
Okay.
Grew up in Albany, born there, went to school there, was there for a while, and then I came up to Perth to do my uni degree.
The UWA?
Curtin was my first one.
Curtin, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you study?
Bachelor of Arts in Design. So that was that. And then I moved to London, and then I went back down to Albany, came back up.
I could talk about London all day.
And then...
What is it, Bart? What?
I didn't know we were interviewing you again.
We're not interviewing me. I just find it fascinating.
All right. She's about to tell us about her London years. Marnie's
We
about to
argue.
talk about
We
London.
argue all the time over this.
About what?
All the time.
About what, London?
Yeah, because I want to actually go and live there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a positive trigger for him. So someone mentions London.
He's just like goes on.
Yeah,
off
but
in
as
his
long
own
as he's not
tangent.
here, because if I do, then he gives me a hard time.
Oh, do you not like London, Bob?
Love London.
No.
But he doesn't like me talking about it.
You just like don't need to bring it up again.
Okay, so you're 18, come up, did Curtin, did your bachelor, what?
Then, so yeah, I went to Curtin.
keeping you?
Pardon?
Are we keeping you?
No, sorry, it's buzzing, okay? I'm a very wanted person. What can I say? Yes, came up here, went to Curtin and studied Bachelor of Arts in Design.
Yep.
Moved to London for a little bit.
Did you work over there doing that?
Yeah, actually.
That's in 2013?
Yeah, around then.
Yep.
Yeah, I worked at a fashion place doing merchandising. So kind of like, because it was fashion design that I studied.
Okay. Good place to be doing it.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a good experience. Bit poor though. So then I came back and I was in Albany again. And then I came back up to Perth and did my dip-ed in art teaching.
Okay.
So I'm an art teacher.
Oh, okay. Do you still currently do your art teaching?
No. So I taught at Iona for nearly 2 years.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Yeah. Taught there for nearly 2 years and then decided to to start Hail the Kale. Just completely see you later to school teaching. Hello to Hail the Kale.
Now, this Hail the Kale thing, it's got a fair bit of momentum behind it. I have been seeing some articles here. Here's Perth Now did what's so funny about that?
Just the photos, like I don't know, like they're okay, but there's a lot of bright light. It looks like I'm about to attack somebody with my kale in that photo.
So the best thing about this, right, is when I clicked on this, if you have a look at the story that's under it,
Thinking about
underwater wedding for Perth couple.
Oh.
See, so that's always what throws me. Obviously, this isn't you. So this is you. This is Perth Now. We don't have to look at that. What? That's how it is. Do you see that? It's always an odd story.
It's always odd, yeah.
Okay, so let's get into Hail the Kale because I'm fascinated. You brought in some today.
I brought some Hail the Kale for you, but
Show
I
me.
found out that... Here it is.
What have we got there?
Well, it's a miso happy chicken.
When I think of chicken, I want him to be happy. He looks really happy there in slices. That looks...
Me so happy chicken. Yeah, okay.
That looks great.
No, we get it. It's good.
That is great. That is great. I get it.
Yeah, everyone loves that one. So it's one.
Do
of
they
our,
all
it's
have...
definitely a crowd pleaser.
Do they all
miso
have...
drizzle?
Cool
Miso
names to
drizz.
them?
Yes, I love a pun.
Oh,
the whole business is a pun. Hail the Kale. So
where
it's
are
only
we?
fitting that everything has a name.
Which one are we looking at here?
If you go main meal, lunch, dinner. Oh, yeah, I know that's annoying. That
Website.
Yeah, user journey not good.
Oh, vegan popcorn, protein slice. This looks great. That actually looks really good.
Yeah. You know what?
Tell
I'm
me.
not going to lie.
Don't lie to me. You don't look like the type to lie. 75 days.
To be honest.
70.
AGL.
To be honest,
75 days without alcohol.
No, yeah, right.
75 days.
Nah,
Dreaming.
that's definitely true. I forgot to bring bowls with me from the kitchen, so I had to go to the herdsman and buy this.
Oh, really?
But you see, it looks pretty good for that's been on the shelf. So I just grabbed it off the shelf and brought it and paid $15, which we make them. And I was wearing my Hail the Kale shirt as I brought it from the herdsman.
What is...
so it would have looked a bit weird.
If I may, what's the
me
shelf
walking
life?
out with my product and buying it. They would have been like,
Hello.
you made that and you're buying it from us for full price. But anyway,
Maybe
I
they
do
think
silly things like that. I like to go and hang around the supermarkets and stalk people and just watch them.
that's quality control, though. You are
them.
making sure that they're selling your food and it's still of such high quality.
Exactly.
Good on you.
Good on me.
Good
on me.
And I must have... Because you've got about 10 stockists.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a
around
look at this.
Perth.
About
It's about...
20 stockists at the moment.
Okay,
which we're
well,
looking
there you
at
go. Wow.
cranking up to around 50 in a month or two.
Any around here? Mount Lawley?
Yeah,
My
Mount
Marketplace.
Lawley, My Marketplace, and also Second Ave.
Where's My Marketplace?
Beaufort Street.
619.
It's just IGA. It's My
Oh,
Marketplace.
yeah, I know the one.
I should
Opposite.
change that to IGA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gee, so you're doing well here. At what point, so go back to the start of this Hail the Kale, because I find this fascinating. All right. It is, obviously foods like, or your health foods are a lot more popular now. But how long has this been around?
I've had a Hail the Kale for probably 3 years in total.
It must have been with I guess, because even in that Perth Now story that we had up there before, it talks about you're going up against U Foods, HelloFresh, which are massive. Every second day I got someone from HelloFresh at my door, and I said, no thanks.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That is a massive call to do this. That's confidence. That's great.
Yeah.
So it's a different business model, HelloFresh, to this.
Yeah, it is a different business model. HelloFresh is more so when you order the ingredients and you make it yourself, whereas this is for the busy single or family that want something that's like a grab and go rather than make it themselves.
So we can order 4 days worth of this for 2 people, and it'll stay fresh. So I was on your website and you say you order this by 8 a.m. Sunday.
Yeah.
It's good to go by Monday.
Yeah.
And you've got all the meals you need through till
Thursday. Yeah. Yep. Because they are fresh. So it's we pride ourselves in local fresh ingredients. So they're 100% preservative free. So that's why the shelf life isn't as long as some of the other ones like Muscle Chef and Macro Meals and that kind of thing, because they do put shelf stabilizers in their products, but we don't. So
what are shelf stabilizers?
Like preservatives that prolong the veg and like color enhancers and stuff. They spray something on it to make it stay fresh. Yeah.
You know all those 3-digit numbers that you see in the ingredients
Yeah.
column? Yeah, look for those.
All of them.
Really?
Yeah. Firming agents, stabilizers, all that.
Yeah, all those color enhancers. So that's why they last 2 weeks on the shelf, because obviously you wouldn't. Yeah, you had to have something that was fresh on the shelf for that long.
What made you, I suppose, having a background like you said in design and teaching? What was it that you thought? No, I'm gonna do this. Obviously, you eat this food, you like this food. Yeah. Something I did notice is how long have you been, I guess, eating in this manner?
Personally, myself, Probably, I think for around like 7 years now. So previously I wasn't as healthy. Definitely not.
That is so noticeable in your photos.
Yeah. I found that it made me feel much better.
Yeah.
So, and I did like the I quit sugar thing and all that. And so then that's what kind of sparked it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is the one thing I did notice. I'm obviously just on your How the Kale here.
Yeah.
But just going through your social media, how, I guess, you looked, like say 5-6 years ago, how much healthier you look now. Must be spray tan. But,
spray tan. I think it's no alcohol, to be honest. I think I'm a bit brighter at the moment.
And 8 hours of sleep.
And like all the sleep. Like I feel pretty good. Yeah, and no kids.
Yeah.
Because to be running something like this, this is a absolute full-time commitment. So it is. You're not going to have any time to get sick or feel crook or even 100%. Be run down, are you?
No, exactly. It's definitely one of those things that requires 100% of me 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very taxing sometimes, but that's why I have to make sure that I put my health and wellness first too.
How did it come about you actually like starting this business? Were you having a conversation with someone and thought, I'll do this? Have you got partners? Are you in the sense of, have you got a business partner that you're working with?
I do now.
Tell me about your business. Oh, so you didn't at the start?
No.
Tell me from the start.
So from the very start, so in Albany when I lived there, like between uni and, so I finished uni, went to London, came back. I decided I'd start another business in Albany called DLVD, which is the abbreviation for delivered. And so I had a food business. It was food business, and we used to deliver salads and things to people's offices and homes. And this was in like 2015, so before Uber Eats and everything.
How was this? What's the difference, I guess, with the eating patterns of say, even though Albany's a big city, it's different to Perth. What are the eating habits that people like down in Albany compared to Perth?
It was the same, everyone wants to eat healthy, fresh.
Yeah.
Like it was I think that's like where the love and for cooking and making healthy food and everything like that started, because I had the business down in Albany to start with. And I found, like, I kind of tested the concept and I knew the concept worked. But I always like switching and changing things. So I ended up selling that business to somebody else.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like where it came from. And then I was like, and I had like quite a few followers and things like that on Instagram, and friends that wanted me to post my recipes. And so then when I came back up to Perth, I was doing my teaching degree, my DipEd, and then I started Hail the Kale as an Instagram. And I used to just post recipes and things like that and share that with everyone. And then I also had a YouTube channel for a little bit where I used to cook for people and share things on YouTube as well. I think I've deleted it now.
I was going to look for that later.
No, I deleted it. So that's where Hail the Kale started. So Hail the Kale started on Instagram as like a healthy food blog. And
so you weren't even involved with the preparation and distribution of food. It was more just...
So it started, on Instagram as a food blog. If you scroll all the way back down to my Instagram at the bottom, it's just food blog. And then from the food blog, I started at the Claremont Farmers Markets, tested, trialled, worked out a few like different products and things like that. And then, because I was teaching as well at that time, so I was at Claremont Farmers Markets.
What subjects were you teaching?
Art, design, business, quite a few things.
Oh, so a lot of the stuff that you can actually incorporate into
the business.
That's great.
So I was my main thing about Hail the Kale was creating. I love creating, taking photos, marketing, making something look pretty. Like that's what I love doing. So it kind of naturally just progressed into a product, because I've made like an ebook where I took all the photos for my ebook and I got it hard.
That's a great photo there. That's really good. That's really good. I like that. All your photos in here are exceptional.
Yeah, thank you.
They're very, very good. That design background must have been very helpful with this kind of stuff, because even your layouts on
the thing. Like I love colour and making things look good. So basically, that's where Hail the Kale came from.
So you
and
had
eating
that
healthy
experimental stage at the Claremont Markets.
Yeah.
And so, what was the next step?
So we had that experimental phase at the Claremont Farmers Markets, and then from there, I started designing all the labeling and everything like that for our wholesale product, because I kind of knew that I wanted a product. Kind of like it just naturally progressed into a product, and then from there I went in and started. The herdsman was my very first stockist. I come also from I've also had a job in fashion sales. So
right.
I used to work at a wholesale fashion company. So we were like sales reps for different brands. And so I could pretty easily sell my product from that kind of background as well into the supermarkets, because I've always been the person that's gone into the supermarkets and sold the product.
And what sort of calculations do you have to make, given that you've got a pretty short use by date in terms of your viability, like before stuff has to get taken off the shelves and stuff like that. So a lot of those things get considered at that early stage.
Yeah, exactly. So it's because it has such a short shelf life. They were like a little bit hesitant to take it in to start with, but then you kind of just work with them to make sure they're not over ordering or that kind of thing, because it is a very short shelf life. They can only be on the shelf for 3 days.
Yeah, right.
So you have to make sure that they're selling through them.
Yep.
Yeah. So
sounds like you're always destined to go into business with that kind of background, because you've got your background in design, you got your background in sales, and obviously this type of food. So when you decided, so you started out like at a farmer's market, that was sort of almost like your first time. Is that where you made the food yourself and then sold it, packaged it up and sold it?
Yeah. So I used to hire out a kitchen. And I used to prep on a Friday night after I'd finished teaching in the kitchen on a Friday night. And then Saturday morning at 7 a.m, we used to be down there then selling the food as well.
How often's those markets?
Every week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with those markets. I know the markets are around there. But
I definitely agree with that design background. That's very interesting that we first see food with our first sense. You see it and it becomes attractive. The vibrant colours, how it's presented, how it's laid out, it's beautiful. Yeah. And of course, your background, you've designed it, you've laid it out, you've thought of all the colours. Like huge first steps to take to actually entice people to the product. And I say that because my background from a Central European country,
vodka,
so wedged somewhere between Germany and the Ukraine. We make very tasty food, but I wouldn't say it's the most presentable of food, so your goulashes and different soups and salads and stuff.
It is good, though.
Is it Polish? Are you from Poland?
Yeah.
My best friend's Polish.
Oh, there you go.
I used to always eat all her mum's food. The starts with a B.
Barszcz?
Yeah, that. Is it
the beetroot soup?
No.
Oh, it's so good. No. I've eaten that at your house before.
Bigos. That's the one.
Hunter's stew. It's known,
He always makes that.
Yeah. So bigos is a great example of a cabbage and meat and mushroom stew, which doesn't look that appetizing. That's the thing, it looks like something you'd put in the compost bin. Oh, okay. But it's tremendous.
No, that's definitely. I suppose I designed all the bowls in the back of my head with that kind of design background, and I made them all look very aesthetically pleasing, which works in our favour but then also not, because when you're trying to make the processes and systems I've now found in a business, it's very hard when you have so many different factors that you have to take into account, whereas like a lot of other businesses that you see around that do similar product to ours kind of have everything a little bit more systemised, whereas ours are just like very creative, all these different ingredients. Like it poses a little bit of a like it's a point of difference, but from a business perspective, it isn't always the easiest way to work it out. Have to work out different ways to navigate that.
Here's a design challenge.
Oh.
Would you be able to take Polish cuisine and sell it?
And make it, maybe that's a good challenge.
Or even German. You don't see too many Central Eastern European or even German restaurants around, right? It's tasty, hearty food, but it's just not marketable.
Yeah, it's not marketable. You got to really turn up that saturation and contrast.
Even your bowls here, because I was looking through some of the other ready-made meals, and they do compensate with the like, I guess, the colour of the dish, usually with a bright coloured bowl. But because your bowl's quite a stock standard, like a flat colour, I believe that's what it's called. It makes your food like it's
pop.
Yeah, it's actually so good.
Well, because I do design the food around, like I do bring my design background into the food that I design, because I've designed all the meals myself. So
there's the Snickers.
I think about
Who's this guy?
That's George's dog.
You're doing chocolate bars. What are those?
No, so they're vegan Snickers bars, but they are from another girl. She has a business called Karma Kitchen, and she subleases our business out.
Okay.
Our kitchen. And so she cooks them in there, and we just wholesale them off her. Just the little things.
I see where it says, I did say it on your page here, just talking about, gluten-free.
Yeah.
Dairy-free. Not dairy-free. I did say something.
We are pretty much dairy-free. Well, there's a few things that...
How do you go? Because one of our friends, she's celiac.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that there's a lot of things she can't eat, and when she does, it causes her no end of dramas. But how have you found the people? Because it seems like there's not a new allergy, but people can and can't eat things, and maybe not allergy, just to make them feel better. People's bodies react differently. Have you had any issues with any of your food? With is there any kind of conditions people have that I guess would restrict what they can and can't eat with your food?
They are all gluten free, so everything we have, all the bowls are gluten free.
Yeah.
So I mean, in terms of that, they can be consumed by celiacs. They're all very, very safe in that way. We do get quite a few people that are gluten free that will add into their comments, like when they order, just to make sure that it is gluten free. But yeah, we do cater for quite a few different allergies and that kind of thing that come through now. There's so many more allergies now than when there used to be. I think back in the day, I feel like there's a lot more allergies and things like that.
Do you think there are more allergies now, or they're just detected now, or they're just people are aware of them now?
Yeah, I reckon they're detected now. More so.
Gluten always...
people want an answer to why they're feeling the way they're feeling, and so food has a lot to speak for it. With
gluten, it has always been quite confusing to me. So what actually, can you explain to me?
Putting me on the spot here. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm an art teacher.
We'll cut. Where's that edit button? No.
Gluten.
No, we won't have to talk about gluten if we want. We're right. Okay.
No, it's okay. Sorry. No, it's my phone's going off. People can't say to me.
Do you need to? If you need to take a call or something, you can.
No. It's fine.
Your time is more important than mine, obviously. I want to get back because I'm fascinated by the actual business itself.
Yeah.
All right, so you walk me through it. So you've done the farmers markets.
Yeah.
Okay. The step from farmers markets, were you working? You were hiring out a kitchen to do it?
Yeah, we were hiring out a kitchen. So we used to hire a kitchen in Mount Hawthorn, and I used to go in there just on Friday nights and prep everything, and then we would have the markets on Saturday morning, and then sell everything there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is that different now? Like. How many years ago was that?
So that was 3 years ago now, I think. 3 years, yeah.
And in 3 years...
So there's been quite a few stepping stones since then. So we went from the markets, and then I decided to go into it full time, and we had another kitchen where we hired it out in a different place, and so then we were cooking from there, and then from there we actually moved to the Claremont Football Club, and we were cooking from the Claremont Football Club kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is actually a really good venue to cook from. Probably not all the stairs that we were running up and down every day on the daily and having to compete with all the football guys that were around. But it was good for the time being. And so then we used to cook out of Claremont Football Club kitchen. And then we only just recently, well, not so recently now, but in November last year, we signed the lease to our own warehouse.
Oh, nice.
So now we have our own warehouse in East Victoria Park.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and we're rapidly kind of going through that as well because there's not really much room in there at the moment. But yeah, that's definitely where we are at the moment. So over the last 2 years, we've been kind of here, there and everywhere, and now we're settled in our warehouse for now.
Oh, okay.
So, and we decked it all out ourselves. So last year when COVID hit, I found a business partner.
How did it go during COVID? Get busier?
Yeah, actually, we did get busier, kind of, in a way. So we had, during COVID last year when it first hit, we had just the wholesale side of the business, and then some of our wholesale stockists dropped off because people weren't at work as much. They weren't wanting as much stock, like for the IGAs that were near the workplaces. So then we decided to offer home delivery, and that's kind of when that cranked up, and now we're at 50-50 wholesale and home delivery.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's really good. So we had to put in a lot of different systems in place in order to get there as well, because it's not just, well, at the start I was delivering everything we were delivering it in my car and other cars that were around that we could find of friends, but then you have to put actual like vans and all that in place.
It's a big step up, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot more involved than what it might seem on the Instagram. That's for sure.
Well, the good thing, from what I've seen or from what I've heard as well, the good thing is it seemed like you started small and just worked your way up, and then step by step, whereas I know a lot of people with businesses now sort of want to be at the level that you're at from day one, and they'll commit too much too early, and which can be a massive downfall of the business, where it seems like you have started small. All the mistakes that I guess everyone's going to make in business, you've made on a very small scale as you're going up, and now you're pretty much entrenched in there. So this is a very
You've got to
good
go,
business.
slowly and steady sometimes. I've got to remind myself that, though, because sometimes I like to bite off more than I can chew. But
patience
you've got
is
to
the
try.
key.
Yep, you've got to try and be patient and just kind of ride the waves as well, because there's lots of really hard bad days, and then there's lots of good days too, which outweigh
From
them.
a regulation point of view, health regulation wise, what are some of the things that you had to become aware of and steer the business around or structure it around?
So like the health inspectors and that kind of thing?
Yeah, what sort of impact do those immediate requirements have on growing a business like this?
There's quite a few things. I suppose it's like anything. You just have to make sure you're following all the right protocols and that kind of thing. You have to always get registered through the different cities that you go to, so they have to come through and like check your food off and make sure that you're following all the right procedures.
The local governments, you mean?
Yeah. So the Victoria Park health inspector would come and inspect our kitchen and tick us off.
They're pretty strict as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they can tend to be quite strict. Some of the local government health inspectors are worse than others. Like some of them are really hard, but we've been pretty lucky in the past that we've had some really good ones, and we follow all the right procedures, of course. So everything's all good, of course. No, so yeah, definitely you've got to make sure that you're doing that, especially when you're doing a food product that is a perishable to supermarkets as well, because I mean that's sitting on the shelf, so you've got to make sure that you have all the right regulations, etc., in place.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd be something like that. You'd be just not vulnerable, but
it's very vulnerable.
It'd have to. There's just so many, boxes you'd have to tick just to make sure that everything's accountable, that you cover yourself. But if you're doing the right thing, you'd like to hope that that you are well protected.
Exactly. Yeah, we always try and do the right thing. So hopefully no one dies on a me so happy bowl. That wouldn't be very happy.
me not so happy.
Me so not so happy. Yeah.
Tell me about this business partner. Someone's joined the Hail the Kale gang.
Yeah. So I was
posse.
Yeah, posse. I was very lucky. Actually during COVID that I was at a bit of a stage with my business, and I was like, I'm not sure what we're going to do, because COVID hit. You kind of freak out and you're not really sure like what the road ahead is, and you see a lot of businesses around you failing, and it's a bit of a scary time. But I was lucky enough that my accountant saw my business model as something that looked quite enticing, I suppose. So he decided to come into the company, and we made it a company because I was a sole trader and now we're a company. So he decided to come in last year, him and his wife. My business partners now. Yeah. And
what's their role in the job? In the business? In
the business. So he's the director with me now. He's classified as a director. But their side is more so just the financial, like not just, but the financials, all the financials, accounting, HR, His wife Sandra, who's also great, does all my bookkeeping and things like that. So that's pretty awesome.
Massive load off you.
Oh, it's amazing.
Massive load.
Amazing, because I hate, absolutely hate numbers. Like, I'm terrible. Like, I think I didn't even pass year 10 maths.
Oh, excellent.
So,
I'll have you as a business
like,
partner.
I am absolutely terrible. So, like, I'm so glad that Steve came in with me to help the business out. And, yeah, they're great. Yeah.
That's honest
very, very
Steve,
great.
by the way.
Pardon?
Honest Steve.
Honest Steve, is that his nickname?
Honest Steve.
Well, you're Mayhem Marnie. He's
Yeah,
Honest Steve.
he's honest
Well, we
Steve.
can ask him at the Rumble. He's coming.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I will have a chat to him.
So your company, that means you are PTY Ltd?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Isn't that?
PTY Ltd. Marnie Mayhem PTY Ltd. That's my name.
I'm going to put copyright on that. Setting up a business, it's there's a fair bit to that. That's not stock standard anymore. Do you remember we used to go in there down onto St George's Terrace and fill in a form, and that was it. You could register a business that way, and everything was sort of taken care of. Now,
there's so many leaps and bounds that you need to go through. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have him on the side doing a lot of that for me, and he set it all up. So we've set up everything in a trust and whatnot, all that stuff that you need
Everyone's covered.
Yeah, that you need to do. So he's been great. So I pretty much, ultimately, I'd just love to be able to do all the creative and all the new ideas and the marketing and photography, and that's all my zone of genius. And then they're more so the financials and HR and that.
How many people do you employ?
How many people do I have? Well, if anyone wants to be a cook and come and help me, come and join the Hail the Kale team. It's very hard to find staff at the moment because there's no travellers coming in as well. So that kind of seasonal work's pretty tricky. We've got two people. We've got 2 people at the moment. 2 people and 2 delivery drivers as well.
Wow, okay, so 2 people full-time in the kitchen?
Part-time. Yeah, part-time in the kitchen. I recently had a girl leave us, which is very sad, because her partner had to come back because he lost his job from COVID, and so she had to go into another role at another job because it's part-time, so it's not a full-time job.
Yep.
So, yeah, like a little bit desperate for staff at the moment. I've had to cap my capacity. I've had to cap my capacity of how many bowls we can do because I'm so busy with the boxing that I can't be in there really, and so it's a little bit tricky at the moment.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
A friend of mine runs like a cafe, not a cafe. He does Italian food delivery.
Oh yeah.
And he I won't mention his name because I haven't checked with him first. I got to do the right thing. He does do fine pasta though. Tommy Sugo. He was saying that headaches wise, staff seem to be 80% of the issue. Would that be true in your business?
Yeah,
not saying the staff are bad, but just with the management of staff and numbers. And you must understand people do move on and move to different things. Yeah. But
staff. Yeah. Staff is very hard. I think I find that hard as well just because I've never really managed. That isn't really in my repertoire of skills as much as well. It's very hard. Managing people, yeah. Because, I mean, I've been a teacher. I teach things, which is another good skill, but not managing people in a way in that sense. So, yeah, staff is always hard as well when they're, like as you said, they leave as well. It's kind of just the nature of the work. So, and it's really hard to find good staff when you're a small business because your staff are everything. So if you don't have good staff in place, then wheels fall off and that kind of thing. But in saying that, we do seem to attract some good people just through our Instagram following. Usually the people I employ are through friends of friends.
Who's this gang here?
That's the gang.
There's the gang. How many staff have you got?
Oh, 2 and 2.
That was just... We had a lot of people there, but we didn't really need all of them. They're just like my friends as well.
Oh, okay.
That was like back... That's when COVID happened and we were like... Everyone just wanted to come help because no one was doing anything.
Okay.
So how many staff? Neil's still there. Neil is also coming to the Rumble.
Oh, nice.
He's there, and then the other girls, they're not there anymore.
Okay. So how many staff do you actually have? So there's you, your 2 business partners, or the husband and wife business partners.
And then there's Neil, and then there's
2
Georgia,
cooks?
2 cooks, yep. And then there's 2 delivery drivers at the moment. Usually there'd be 3 in the kitchen.
How many, just say that's a portion or an item, how many portions would you distribute in a day or make in a day to be sold?
Bowls?
Yeah,
How many
bowls.
Bowls. On Monday we do like 650.
It's a lot.
Oh.
That is a lot.
Well, some of those photos we had up there was a lot of bowls
Yeah.
on
It's
those
a
prep
lot
tables.
of bowls. We
it's-
don't have enough tables and we don't have enough staff. No, joking.
Is that the single biggest impediment you have now to growth? Like,
Yeah.
if you had more
Yeah,
staff,
yeah.
you would just
Yeah.
take off.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I could.
Wow.
I've had to cap. Like, I reckon this. Like, we usually cap the orders at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, I'll have to cap them tomorrow. Well, no, not tomorrow.
How
Like
good is
Saturday.
it? That
'Cause
is
you won't have
a
enough.
brilliant problem to have.
It is a brilliant problem to have, but also it makes me feel not sufficient enough because I'm just like, I want to be able to service everyone. And especially because we only have one van too. So we can only get around to so many people.
What would you want to do at this point in time? Do you reckon you could do double?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we could do double.
Geez, well, I'm sure there might be an investor listening to this show.
Yeah, well,
So staff and someone with a big... So how big's your warehouse?
Staff would be good.
How big's this warehouse?
It's only 180 square meters.
Okay. So I suppose when you put in...
You put in stuff, it fills up fast. Yeah. Starting to need. And the whole of the reception area is just boxes because as well at the moment there's a lot of issues with sea freight. And so I've just had to just order 20 cartons of stock just from anywhere and now they're just sitting there because I just had to jump on them. I'll be good.
Okay. And can people come in off the... can you walk in and buy?
No, you have to order.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to order them. We're not there yet to be able to.
Unless you walk in a
Come in.
herdsman or any of the stockists.
Oh, and the stockers,
You
no,
walk
I
into
just
the
went into
stockers.
Park.
Just don't spread it around that you can walk into our warehouse whenever
No.
because.
I'm not... We work...
don't want
We
to
work
do
very
that.
close to Vic Park, so we were going to
Oh,
say, "Well,
yeah.
swing by there."
You can
swing
order
by.
like if
Swing
you
by.
you can swing by. You can choose pickup, and you can pick it up.
Would you ever think, because of with the teaching background, with this kind of food, and with the focus that has been onto kids' health, because this would have to help you mentally as well. You have to be more switched on for school after eating one of these than having like Cocoa Pops and a Red Bull or something. I saw a kid the other day. He
Gross.
would have been primary school Red Bull.
Yeah.
That's
Red Bull.
terrible.
Oh, yeah. Well, both you and I, working together, we're kind of aware of each other's food patterns. We are definitely, also on board, or as I like to call it, woke.
Woke? What's woke? What do you mean woke?
That's us.
Came from a Saturday Night Live video.
Woke.
Right.
It sounds gangster.
Yeah,
We
you
are-
haven't
we
come
are
across the
gangster.
phrase woke yet.
No, I have, but in what context?
We don't know. We're way
A
too old for
a
this.
I'm like, you know how
Awoken.
people are like, I'm woke. But I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, so
what does it mean?
We
I
think
don't know. I
there's
just say a lot.
people are
We
awoken
don't
to.
know.
I don't
we
know.
just
Just
say
say
it.
it.
I think that's an Urban Dictionary search. My personal take on woke, or people that believe they're woke, or my mate's got a T-shirt that says "I'm woke AF." So there's degrees of
You're
wokes.
awake.
There's
There's
wokeness.
But what does it mean? You're awake.
I think you're aware of certain issues that you weren't
Okay.
aware before. So you've, in the Matrix, you've taken the red pill.
Oh, okay.
Everyone else
And
is
you
still
wo-
stuck in the Matrix, and you're
Right.
like, I
I'm
know
woke.
what's going on.
I know. We think we know.
I'm alert to issues. I used to be like
I'm
this.
alert to issues.
I was asleep, but now I'm woke.
Now I'm woke. This
What-
bowl made me woke.
I said we eat pretty well, don't we?
Yeah. Well,
You do?
certainly we cut down on the processed foods significantly. And the whole basing your diet on whole food
Yeah.
is the way to go.
Yeah.
I think to me that's such a no-brainer that, well, it's a no-brainer. So the
Exactly.
less processed food you can eat, the less dairy you can eat. Like if you can't recognise it as something that grew out of the ground,
Yeah.
then it's probably not a whole food.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And that's how we base our bowls around. Just eating healthy, eating wholesome, quality ingredients that you know that you can, when you turn the back of our bowls upside down, you can read the ingredients. There's nothing there that is something weird. I just wanted to, when I designed the business, I just wanted to make something that I would make at home with my ingredients that I had, that I could then grab off the shelf in a hurry. So things that are local, fresh, whole foods. Very simple.
And convenient. That's the thing.
Convenient.
That's the thing that you see at me. If my kids would eat that stuff, seriously, I would load it. If my kids got into that, I'd have no drama. It'd save me some time.
It's difficult with the kids.
A bit harder with the kids. We're not there yet, having to have them as a customer, but it's definitely something there. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, kids are always attracted to food that looks good, like that's colourful, that looks good. Like they will eat something because they're very, what do you call it?
Calorie dense.
Calorie
Sweet.
dense, yeah, exactly. Like they are very, like they like to eat something that looks good or coloured and that kind of thing. So, it could be something that we look into.
And when it comes to the actual food itself, how much of the prep do you do, or is it already sort of already cooked, shredded, everything? Or you mentioned before you had some sore wrist due to kale shredding. Yeah.
It actually sounds so ironic. It actually was from kale shredding. No, so we get all of our food, all of our fresh produce in from the market, so Canning Vale markets. We have a buyer that goes there and buys all of our fresh produce for us.
That's great.
Yeah, so they go and source the best stuff. I think it's the best stuff. So very local, like from the farmers around WA, what we can get our hands on, and then it comes into our warehouse whole, and then we process it from there. So we shred it all. We put all like the little carrots, like all the carrot through the processing machine.
I need one of those.
And like all the kale, like Georgia sits there and like destalks all the kale, and like it goes through a big washing thing, and then so
nothing worse than sandy kale.
There is nothing worse
crunchy
than sandy
kale
or crunchy lettuce. That's disgusting.
What I was mentioned before was having the background as being a teacher, and with this kind of food. Have you ever thought of going into schools with this kind of stuff, like maybe even whether it be, supplying what do they call them, tuck shops? Is that what they still call them?
Oh yeah, school canteens.
Canteens, or even there's got to be a lot of kids interested in making this kind of food.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely something we've thought about. I mean, I come from a whole family of teachers. So my mum, my dad, my sister, everyone's a teacher. So it's always been something like I've thought of. It's always been in the back of my head, how we can possibly get it into schools and like teach kids how to eat healthy. Like even when I was a teacher, I did do a few of my like teaching programs based on healthy eating. And because I did teach food at school as well. That was another subject I taught. And we would do like Nourish Bowls. Like that was like a unit that I taught at school. Yeah.
So at school you were teaching them to cook this kind of food?
Yeah.
You taught, was that? I was like taught by Miss McGrath. Poor Miss McGrath, putting up with me. We were like, it was all with us was hot dogs and hamburgers. Home economics.
Yeah, so it's definitely changed these days. And also, in saying that, I was at a girls' school, private girls' school. So it's very like, they're always wanting to do the, not in thing, but, like really that step forward.
Yeah.
So we were making these bowls and then even recording them and making movies and kind of combining it all into a program. So, yeah, it's definitely something that's good to teach kids.
Definitely, especially at school. If you're doing that with the videos, you're probably incorporating like 3 or 4 different units, aren't you?
Yeah. And the whole design aspect, the appeal, the visual appeal, fantastic.
I used to just like to teach what I wanted to teach, exactly my way or the highway. So basically, I would just bring everything that I wanted to teach into the school.
So that's how it started.
So this is how it started.
Jeez.
So they were pretty lucky though. I would like to be in my food class.
That's excellent. Wow. And so, say 5 years from now, where do you reckon How the Kale's going to be?
It's a tricky one.
How the Kale restaurant?
How the Kale restaurants? No, a big goal for us is to be able to distribute Australia-wide. So to have our product there at that standard, enough kind of logistics and everything sorted so we can reach more people. So it's not just Perth-based. We would really like that to be next 5 years in a 5-year plan.
Would you because I'm just asking, I'm not too sure, but would that be setting up kitchens in other cities, or would that be that isn't a matter of making it here and trying to get it over there? That would be a logistical nightmare. Yeah.
So you would have different warehouses in different states. So I would have like a Sydney basis or something like that in terms of that, because the freight and everything from Perth is so expensive and takes forever. So we would have like our main kind of offices here, but like we would have that drop shipping kind of concept, I suppose, where you order something but it doesn't actually come from Perth, it comes from their city.
Kitchen over there.
Yeah, their kitchen over there.
Is there anything over there at the moment? Like, have you gone to the different cities?
I would like to go out of WA, but we can't really get anywhere.
We'd all love to do that.
We would love to do that. Yeah, no, not at the moment, but we'll see. We'll find. I always had the idea in the back of my head of opening up a Hail the Kale in Bali as well, because I love Canggu.
Nice.
And like all those, I've spent a lot of time over there. So, because there's a lot of those healthy kind of cafes and that popping up in Canggu. So that was always in the plan, but we'll see how the world turns out.
It's travel country. How's it gone with, obviously this is all mainly focused in Perth at the moment because everything is in here. How do you feel like, I know, say, not remote communities, but sort of not epicenters as big as Perth, they must have an interest in this and what they don't have access to. Do you get a lot of orders from, say, outside of Perth? Like a lot of them going country. How's Albany?
Yeah, Albany wants it. I get messages like every week.
Shirts on
like,
everywhere.
Yes, everyone just like walks around being like, we want Hail the Kale. Like actually, like it's not even a joke.
Oh, really?
But like I just can't work it out at the moment. I've got the gyms wanting it. I've got the IGAs wanting it. I do have the interest there, and definitely like up north as well, like in Karratha and things like that. Like everyone wants it. Like
mining sites?
I haven't actually tried mining sites. Wow. That would be good. But do you reckon
you got two more partners sitting right here.
But do you reckon that it might be a bit hard to get mining people?
We'll talk about that after.
Tell me about the gyms, the demand from the gyms.
Yeah, the gyms. Gyms always want to do stuff with us as well, which is like really nice of them. But it's a bit hard to logistically work out. But the F45 down in Albany really wants us to what? I can't read what that says.
Am I back? Go.
I've lost my train of thought now. Was I saying?
Talking about gyms.
F45.
Yeah, F45. Yeah, F45 in Albany really want them to be. They want to be like a distribution place.
So they want to have a food fridge at the gym.
Yeah,
they do. A lot of the gyms have food fridges
they
now.
Want that.
But have you seen the food in some of them? Oh, not good.
There's little protein shakes and shit like that.
No, they've got food in there, but it doesn't look. No. It doesn't look good.
It's all about getting it look like. Let's be honest. It's all about making it look good. So yeah, there's a few gyms like Albany and the IGAs and that kind of definitely people want it down there as well. And we are doing a little bit of a collaboration with a gym called Bodies by Ryan in Claremont at the moment as well. So we're doing a bit of their challenge food as well, just like trialing things. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of avenues you can go down. You just don't want to have it's hard to not have your finger in every pie because then you spread yourself too thin.
Oh yeah, so. And if you're having dramas getting staff.
But what's awesome about this, and going back to it, it's fresh. There's no preservatives, no stabilizers. That's the appeal to me because you know, I eat 95% of my diet stuff I make myself at home. Yeah. But on the occasion I have to grab something. You kind of going, what's in there? You're looking at the box upside down, and okay, it looks okay, and you kind of put the 3-digit numbers all over the ingredients to the back of your mind. Yeah. But yeah, this is hugely appealing, and I think that's what a lot of gyms must also be looking at. Yeah, I think so. I think as well, like with us, it's always about aligning ourselves as a brand too, because I think because a lot of people have followed us on our little journey that we've been on so far, they kind of see our bowls and go, oh, I trust Hail the Kale because I know that they're not going to put anything bad or shit in it. So, sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Oh, this is part 2. You can drop the F-bomb if you want. I'm not much of a swearer sometimes. But yeah, you're just perfect. They trust. I'm just perfect. I'm really not perfect. She does not cuss. I do. But yeah, I think as well, like we want to be a brand that people can trust, so you don't even have to really worry about looking at the bottom of the ingredients. Like you just know that Hail the Kale is going to be gluten-free and it's going to be
no like preservatives, no nasties, just local, good ingredients.
Love it. And a lot of the secrets in the very tasty dressings.
Oh yeah.
Miso.
So we do like to do collaborations with local brands as well. So this is a collaboration with Pico, which is a local like sushi rice pepper roll restaurant. And so we've collaborated with them, and we've got their miso ginger sauce in our bowls. And we're doing a collaboration with Community Brew, which are kombucha guys. So yeah, we like to kind of keep everything local. And
I did see that Community Brew,
very
and
nice.
I brought you a Mojo, and I bought you a Mojo kombucha today.
Yeah, I know what.
Jeez.
Nah, all kombucha's good. Does this have much sugar?
I don't know. I don't drink it. Just the potential is incredible with that business. That is really something else. I've learned. Yeah. Learned a lot about that today.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad I can enlighten you on our miso happies.
Nice. And I suppose if you just need to get that staff thing sorted out, and if you got that good team, then you're laughing.
Yeah, and like we attract good people. So I'm just hopefully hoping we get some goodies in very soon.
It would attract a certain like-minded kind of people to be in this industry.
Definitely. Yeah. We all of our staff members are very similar values, and so it's good.
That's fascinating, Marnie. That whole thing, that business, that is just going to go from strength to strength. I was very impressed. For someone that I thought I knew a bit about that prior with all my Facebook stalking that I did with you and Hail the Kale, but that was great. So
thank you.
We do want to thank you.
Good chat.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We got a boxing match in just over 3 weeks from now, which I'll be there, and I'll see you afterwards with that sweet spray tan and
that champagne in my hand.
Flowing.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Gets me excited just thinking about it. No, I'm excited to get up there in the ring as well.
It's going to be a big night, and I'll be there front and centre cheering Team Mayhem. Thanks for coming in, Man.
Thank
you very much for your miso happy chicken. I can't see your mojos in the way.
Sorry. Miso happy chicken, yes.
Miso happy chicken. Thanks for bringing that in.
Yes, and, no worries at all.
I'll be sure to put up a Google review on.
Okay,
on
Google review. Yes,
Google review.
Everyone. Like us, subscribe, all of that. We don't have a YouTube yet. Sorry.
Actually, no, we'll go on this because people don't know.
No.
Like, Hail the Kale. Check them out on Instagram. Oh, some good looking food there. That is Hail, HAIL _the Kale, KALE. Go on there. I'm already following. You can check me out as well. Or go to hailthekale.com.au and you can see Marnie right there with her shoelaces untied. Still bothers me. The menu is...
But what about the menu?
The menu is absolutely delightful.
Let's not talk about my shoelaces. What about our loaded lentil moussaka?
What about the all-class lemongrass? Oh! Marnie's a poet, doesn't even know.
Yes.
Nice. We could go on. Thanks for coming in, Marnie, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. All right, bye.